All right, what to expect? We're going to have an open house. The first 2 weeks is crucial, so we're going to do a lot of marketing, and open house is a big part of that. Are we expecting to sell the house at the open house?
Well, we're always expecting that what we're doing is going to sell the home, and an open house is one of those tools. The reality is they normally do not get an offer, contrary to what you might see on the TV shows. They're normally not like that, but it's the initial push, and we kind of build up towards that. But the odds of it selling are probably pretty slim at the open house. It's more just the initial exposure.
So Jeremy, how do we get people in the door to the open house?
Yeah, so that's the most important part. If we're going to convert on this activity, which is actually a low converting activity, we want to get the most exposure possible. So we start small and go big. So we have the signs in your neighborhood, and we put them all over the place to bring them in from main roads. Then we build an email list and a phone list. And so we start inviting your neighbors and the surrounding area to the open house. Social media has been a big part of that open house, especially the neighborhood groups. If you're in a neighborhood group, please share that with us. If it's a Facebook, Nextdoor, because we want to get the announcement out there, and then share that with your friends and family as well.
Yeah.
How many people should we expect to have at the open house?
Well, again, we want to go big, but realistically, we're hoping that we get 1 or 2 solid leads basically from that, the people that might be interested. And sometimes we only get one. I mean, sometimes we don't get anybody, but sometimes, it's 1 or 2. If we can get 3 or 4 people, that's a really successful open house. But really, we're looking for 1 or 2 people.
When does the agent get there?
Yeah, it's a good question, because we want you to feel prepared for that open house and know the agent's going to be there. They may only show up a couple minutes before the open house because they're out doing these other activities to prepare for it. So don't be alarmed if they show up right before the open house.
What do I need to do to prepare if I'm having an open house?
Okay, so basically it is your big showing, right? It's your first test on how to show your home. You want to have it show ready. Like the things that we talked about before, you want to have it decluttered. You want to turn on all the lights. You want to open up all your blinds. You want as much light as possible, and not to be home as well. It's best to just have it empty. Let the agent take over. They'll call you when they're done.
So I'm not going to be there at the open house.
Correct.
Is there any safety issues I should worry about?
You may just want to keep in mind that you're opening your house to the public. That's not a common thing. So when the public comes through your house, what do you not want to be sitting on the countertop? You're probably going to go into your bathroom and put your prescription medications away, your jewelry, your cash, anything that you don't want exposed, just put it away.
So you mentioned the neighbors, that we're inviting the neighbors. Why would the neighbors want to come? Are they looking to buy my house?
That's a good question, because sometimes they do. Sometimes your house is nicer than theirs, and they really aren't in the market, but if they come walk through yours, they might buy it. Most of the time, it's because they love the neighborhood. And when they start talking about your homes for sale down the street, well, they want their friend to move in there because they love the neighborhood, they love the area, and so they start talking about it, and before you know it, they told somebody that told somebody, and then we get a phone call, and that will sell your house.
The key to marketing is what he just said. Get someone to talk about it. So if we can have people be aware and talk about it, then we're being effective.
So does it matter that only one person shows up at that point?
No.
The work is being done in other areas, and we're creating this momentum that you don't see in the attendance necessarily.
I mean, just by the signs, by the emails, the phone calls, the social media stuff, I mean, that's really where our reach really is.
Yeah.
How long does an open house last? What should I plan for?
Well, typically it's about 2 hours. And you'll be notified of that by the agent, but typically it's 2 hours.
Will I get feedback about people who have come into the open house?
Absolutely. We have very strict guidelines on who we let come into the open house. And so we make everyone sign in. And one of the promises that we tried to get for you is the feedback from the people that come through. And so we're doing the best we can to get all of the feedback from the people that walk through before they just run out the back door, right? And so the agent that holds the open house will be contacting you through the same process as if you had a showing. So that'll be a good experience to understand how that system works and where that message will come for that initial feedback.
And feel free to reach out to your transaction coordinator with any questions and additional clarifications.
Well, I'm excited for the open house. Now, if you're enjoying these smart messages, who do you know that you can introduce us to that we can also give this level of service and help?
Instead of trying to rely on contacting a human, You can know about the entire transaction from start to finish on day one.
It's 24/7 information.
I think what people are going to love is that we're trying to answer questions before they ask them.
Because you're able to understand where we're at each phase of the transaction.
It's upping our level of service and communication to a way higher level.
Everyone's unique, but they have the same concerns because this is the process. So these smart messages, I think, are going to answer people's questions.
So these smart messages are going to be amazing.